folks, and welcome back to another Britgrid intermediate blender class. And today we're going to be carrying on making our modular building. We're going to be focusing on creating the dividing section between the kind of top and bottom of this section that we're working on at the moment. Now, in order to do that, I'm just going to select this top left-hand section of the wall and press the / key on my number pad, which will just isolate it so that that's all we're looking at. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm just going to select these two vertices on the corner, and I'm going to press E to extrude them, and then I'm going to press Y for the Y direction. Just going to extrude those out a little bit, and something like that. And then I'm just going to press F to join those two vertices. Then I'm going to select this vertices and that vertices, and I'm going to say mesh, and we'll just separate that by selection. So that has made a new object, which we can then select in object mode and go back to edit mode. So let's fill this face. It's not a face yet, it's just 4 vertices. So press F to fill. I'm just going to go up here to check to make sure that the face orientation is the correct way around, which it is. So we can take that off now. I'm going to go into edge mode, just select this edge here, and I'm going to do Control and R, and then Enter, right click, and then Control B to bevel it, B, and then I'm just going to stretch that out a little bit. How many do we want? We probably want a division a bit like that. Then we can go into face select mode, can select this face and that face, and we're going to extrude those faces up on the Z direction, on the blue direction. So press E and then Z, so we can extrude those up a little bit, something like that, and then we're going to extrude them up one more time, exactly the same thing again. So E and Z, and something like that is fine. I'm just going to select this face and just move that down a little bit, something like that. Now what we can do is we can select, go into edge select mode, just select this edge, and we're going to do Shift and D to duplicate it, right click, and now we're going to extrude that on the Z direction. So E for extrude, Z for Z direction. I'm just going to pull that out a bit, something like that. Then we can go into vertex selection, and I'm going to do Shift Control B, and that will allow us to just modify this edge. And if we go down here into the bevel options, we can go to the profile and we can make that a minus amount. So something like that. Just thinking about making the offset a bit bigger. Something like that is good. Maybe give it a few more divisions, because we don't want it to look too chunky. Okay, well, I'm quite happy with that. So what we can do now is we can go into edge select, select one of these edges, and we can do Control and R for loop cut. I'm just going to scroll up on my mouse. I just need to work out how many divisions we want. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 5 is good. So enter to accept that. Right click. Now what we can do is we can go back to our face that we just made, this face here, and we can extrude that on the X direction. So I'm just going to press E for extrude, then X, and I'm just going to move it across a little bit so that we've got kind of a chunky, maybe something like that. So we can then press L to select that, and we've got snapping enabled. So we'll say we'll snap to the medium point. So we'd snap into the medium point, and then we can just pull that across. So we can do that with the axes. So just pull that across to here, and then we can do Shift D to duplicate it and pull that across to the next one. And we're just going to continue on doing that. And again, Shift D, and again Shift D, and when we get to the end here, Shift D again, and we want to do one at the other end as well. So Shift D, we can just drag that across, snap it to that point there. We do need to put an edge loop in here, so we go to edge loop, Control R, enter, right click. I'll do the same at the other end, so Control R, enter, right click, and we just need to get rid of these two faces here, so we need to go into that one there, into the vertices, delete vertices, and we want to do the same on this one over here. So select the face, edge select, delete vertices. So we'll change our snapping back to closest, go to face select. We're just going to select these faces here and raise them up a little bit. And how's that looking? We can lower these faces perhaps just a little bit. Don't necessarily need snapping on for that, so we're just going to take those down a little bit. Maybe raise these out a little bit more. So something like that. It's looking not too bad. Now we can copy the materials from one of our other sections of the building. So let's try doing that. Let's UV unwrap this top section first. So we can press A to select all of it. We can press U, and we can just go down to Smart UV Project. And we don't necessarily want to stretch it to the bounds, but we do want a correct aspect, so we can say OK on that. Then what we can do is, if I go to object mode, I'm going to press my / on my number pad just to unhide the rest of the building. So you can select this section here and then shift and click on the top wall section. We can make sure we're on the wall material, and actually we don't need it on the wall material, we want it on the wall corner material. So let's try that. I believe let's see what we've got. Copy material to selected. Sounds good, doesn't it? Let's try that. Okay, so that's done that now. So I had the wall corner selected as the active selection, and I just shift selected the top section and copied the material over to it. So we can now duplicate this area here. We need to make sure that we've got snapping enabled, and we can go to active element, although that doesn't seem to be showing us our widgets. Let's try that again. Let's do set origin to geometry. There we go. So let's just duplicate that, see if we can get it to snap nicely. So Shift D, we can just drag it with the arrow key. We might need to go into edit mode. Let's see if it'll snap by itself. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we can do the same again. Shift D, drag this across. And this again, Shift D. And snap that one in. And essentially that's really that kind of section completed. And so next time we'll concentrate on duplicating this section and this wall section and making some corner pieces. But that can wait till next time. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Do keep your eye on the Blender, the Britgrid Intermediate Blender YouTube channel. Take care everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.